I saw this interview between Robin Sawyer and
Shout out to
Michael
Robin Saylor,
Saylor.
by the way.
Robin!
Yeah, absolute champion.
Champions. I have to say, in life, there are two things that you need, maybe three. Either money, power, or influence.
I thought it was just cocaine, money, and women.
Money, power, and influence get you all of that as well.
Rules are made by man. That's for sure. I think that's clear to all of us. But people also decide what money is. We have always decided what money is from the beginning of time. From the moment when we went from seashells, trade by barter, to where we are today. You can look at the history of money. I think that's something that's important for everyone to learn. But at this point where we stand, it seems as though there is groups of people who approach rules like they are the gods of rules,
The god of money.
the gods of money. And I think some might even want to be the god of your life, your wealth, your freedoms, and your brain.
Gary Gensler.
Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler, yeah. I can't even think of anyone else but that guy. But if you're not familiar with who Gary Gensler is, chairman of the SEC, you should definitely look into how he has handled the crypto situation over the years. I think that is something that will go down in history as a total failure. And he's probably going to be the king of mafias. However, at this point in time, we have an asset that is unbeatable, untouchable, cannot be controlled. And at some point in time, banks were not allowed to own Bitcoin. But it seems like suddenly some people have realized that we can change it.
I saw this interview between Robin Sawyer and
Shout out to
Michael
Robin Saylor,
Saylor.
by the way.
Robin!
Yeah, absolute champion.
Champions. I have to say, in life, there are two things that you need, maybe three. Either money, power, or influence.
I thought it was just cocaine, money, and women.
Money, power, and influence get you all of that as well.
Facts of life.
That is the summary of this, and that is what Bitcoin gives you. Here's how and why. What Michael Saylor is saying here is this. Here's the reality of the life that we're all living in. We do not have the influence, you and I, with our small little nodes, the small little bank accounts, to influence the SEC, even though we supposedly elect people like that, or the president to select the SEC chairman into office. That is why our portfolios has been destroyed for the past 2 years because of bad decisions by our supposed leaders. But not only are the leaders making the bad decisions, there are actually institutions that lobby them to make those rules and regulations, like the SAB 121 that prevents banks from holding Bitcoin.
Right.
But then I've always said, should we even trust banks or central banks, all these institutions with our money? Because all they do is they turn it into a debt-based system to profit themselves.
Of course.
Right? The same institutions that were protecting the fiat system now see that the ETS has been approved and some people are making some serious money on this technology. Now they say, okay, let's flip it. Meanwhile, your portfolio is getting destroyed. They've made money with the old price action going down.
Yeah.
The same people making money with the price action going down are the same people now coming to lobby those rule makers that they have in their pockets to now pump it up for themselves. Yes. We live in a crazy world. And the only way you can exit that is to have Bitcoin for yourself, just like the institutions do.
Yes. When you take Bitcoin for yourselves, you're essentially exercising the influence that you have. Maybe I would like to change the scale of this problem, just to maybe kind of put it in perspective. If you go to your neighborhood, maybe there is a Target in your neighborhood. Target is a very powerful organization. Okay. Target is, one of those people that we could say is capable of influencing the government, lobbying the government. But Target needs to be profitable. They need to be able to making profit for their shareholders
They need
continuously at an unsustainable rate,
they need your money.
right? So at the end of the day, Target needs you to come in and buy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not buying, and your neighbor is not buying, and your whole neighborhood is not buying, and maybe that zip code is not buying, then there is no Target, right? And that is where the people's influence comes in. That is where the people's power comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Power in numbers. That is what you have on your side. When you get on the Bitcoin network, when you decide to start purchasing Bitcoin, you make the decision to join the numbers against the conventional system, despite their rules, because SAB 121, yes, though it applies just to institutions, these same institutions invest a lot of money in making sure that people do not expand their intellect beyond what the fiat system is.
You saw the destructions on the exchanges.
Okay. Am I cooking or am I cooking?
Cooking.
Okay. Thank you now. So this is
That's the facts.
yeah, it is the fact. But this is where I say the power of the people lies in knowledge. This is why they say always inform yourself, educate yourself, keep reading, and so on and so forth.
Keep watching our channel. That's what we do.
Yeah,
On
definitely
STAKK.
keep watching our channel because we're reading to pass the information on to you so that you don't have to, but you still stay informed. These banks, my first question when I see this situation is why was SAB 121 passed in the first place? Why can the banks not own Bitcoin? Because it seems to me like if SAB 121 was not there, this Bitcoin adoption would be way further than it is right now.
They wanted to kill Bitcoin.
Exactly.
They wanted to protect the fiat system.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to protect the debt-based system that enslaves you.
Mm. And they failed miserably. At least they're failing miserably at it so far because we can see that Bitcoin is still standing.
So they changed course.
And those same organizations are now lobbying to change the direction of that situation, SAB 121. So I think that's one thing that we can also take away from this is that Bitcoin is truly what it says it is. It's the real deal.
It survived Bangkok's getting distributing funds, survived Germany selling all their Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It survived so many things. It has recently survived CrowdStrike, global shutdown.
And it's still chugging along.
Actually, it went from 64,000 to 67,000
67,000.
while the entire system was down.
Okay. The stock market, I wonder if the stock market was affected by
JP
CrowdStrike.
Morgan was affected for a little bit.
Okay. So, absolutely incredible situation here. I think that the future is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is proving itself every day to be this superior asset, and the adoption is going to continue. And rules like SAB 121 is just one of those examples of how there are, I guess, elements or factors in our way to greatness. And to overcome that as a people, we need to inform ourselves better so that we can all be better for it.
Yes. We once had a guest on our show, Mark. They said Bitcoin is the only asset that you buy that when these entities, these institutions that control the system buy, when they buy, you also get wealthy in the process.
Yeah, you also get wealthy. Yeah.
So it's the only system that protects you, really, at the end of the day. You're not a slave to it.
Absolutely. Listen, everything around us has updated, TVs, phones, okay? And I think that money is also just getting updated or shifting, just like we have in the past, from seashells, other forms of trade by barter, gold, and so on and so forth. We got to this point where fiat was locked in, but fiat is man-made. Fiat is not something that came from a higher power.
Fiat is controlled by rules and laws of its
Absolutely.
institutions.
Okay. And the people who decided to use fiat just need to inform themselves and also decide to use Bitcoin. I think we're seeing that happening right now. So money is just going to evolve. I think even on a global scale, taking away Bitcoin, we can see that the geopolitical situation or the geoeconomic situation itself is diversifying from the dollar. There is BRICS, And there's other nations that want to have their own agreements to trade within themselves, having that multilateralism, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is happening. And Bitcoin is part of that equation. So I think it would only be wise for you to try to see how you fit into this new system and how you can maximize your wealth within it. Anything else, Double O?
Champions, if you have not liked and subscribed, go ahead and do that right now.
Until next time, raise it up.
Double O. Pew.